Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, the PlayStation Network died and rose again. The story behind Resistance 4 and the update on Fortnite's Disney universe. We'll have all this and more from the Phantom Zone because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Monday, February 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Magic the Gathering, Poppy Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Greg.
Good day. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I can't complain. It's, I'm stuck. I'm in the Phantom Zone, as I said. If you're an audio listener, I am on the wall. I'm stuck in the cube on the wall here. Of course, I'm working from home.
Does it feel weird to be working from home?
I hate it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel weird at all because, of course, technology's come so far. We're so good at this. You and I got we got the dynamics, Barrett's on the ones and twos, everything. It feels like I'm there. You know what I mean? We're not doing the whole I'm sure we will at some point during this. But yeah, I just want to be there. I just want to be where the people are. I'm like Ariel in The Little Mermaid.
Do you feel bad for holding Roger back? Because this feels like a holding Roger back maneuver of, I gotta stay home to work today instead of having Roger host KFGD. I'm just gonna do it from home. Screw Roger. I'm just gonna keep him at his desk editing videos.
Here's the thing: is all I ever hear from you guys is how overworked you are, and so like I know that none of you are strong enough to put the company on your back like I do. So if I did that, Roger would have a mental breakdown, and then he'd make a bunch of mistakes on thumbnails. He'd be putting Mario where he wants to put Master Chief. It'd be a whole thing, and I'm not about that life. I'm not going to crush him.
You can't let that happen.
You can't have it. You can't have it. Blessing Adeoye, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was a good full weekend. I wanted to, I think, relax somewhat this weekend and like work on playing some games.
Sure.
But PSN went down, which kind of threw that for a loop because I wanted to play Outer Wilds and then also like
console gaming. Am I right?
Dude, Barrett, when I tell you that this pushed me to the brink of like, do I throw the PS5 out the window and just go full in on my PC and just be a Steam boy? Because like I went home and I was like, oh man. Because I had a moment at work where I played more Outer Wilds and I played maybe like an hour or two of Outer Wilds at my desk and I was like, oh, this is starting to click. I think I'm actually starting to like get it. I think I'm actually starting to enjoy this game. I can't wait to get home later.
How many hours into this game are you? You're playing this ancient game.
Well, You're
not even on the Avowed review this week to be like, here's the differences between X, Y, and Z.
I keep restarting the game because I start it and then I stop and then it, too much time passes and I'm like, oh well, if I'm gonna pick it back up, I'm gonna have to like start from the beginning. And so in the true themes of the video game, I keep restarting it over and over again. And so this is like, maybe honestly, if I'm being genuine about this, my fourth or fifth time picking up Outer Wilds. And now on this singular playthrough, I'm maybe 8 or 9 hours in. And in the last
so how far into the game? I of course, time loop game, or you're flying a tree or whatever. I've played Outer Wilds a bit or whatever.
Yeah.
How much, how are you committed to it? Do I need to get you on for a GAMESCAST review of Outer Wilds?
I think I'm committed to it. Again, it's coming down now to time. And
it's review season out here, brother.
Because review season has started up, but I think I am committed because I want to have it done for our top 100 games conversation that we'll have later in the year. Because I know this is one that if I were to finish this game, I think could be in the conversation for me. Because on paper, everything about it is a blessing type of game, and now that I'm far enough into it, I am starting like. Those things are starting to pull me in as far as me being like, okay, I know this about this thing. Let me go over here to research this thing a bit more. Oh, but I remember that this, like, this reveal here changes the context of this thing that I was looking at over here. So now I gotta come back. So that stuff has started to click a bit more for me in ways where I'm like, when I'm not playing Outer Wilds, I am thinking about it. And that is like a very good sign of, okay. This is a game I want to see through. The problem is that I had those moments of, man, I really enjoyed the session today. I want to get back to Outer Wilds. And then I get home and I try to play it on PlayStation and my save was stuck at work.
Yeah.
For like a whole day. I couldn't play more Outer Wilds because my save was stuck at work. And I was like, I'm not
What really sucks is that you're just so far from work. You're so busy and you live so far away from work that there's no way you could get that save.
Yeah, but like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to put it on a USB? Because I couldn't. I can't upload it to the cloud.
Just bring a USB. What do you mean? That's how we used to do it back in the day.
Do I come here, take my PS5, take it back home? I don't even know if do they make USBs anymore? Is that a thing? I'm not seeing a USB in like years at this point.
How many goddamn flash drives do you have from all the events you go to? You go to every video game event, they give you a branded flash drive for your assets.
So we go right now, it'll land on a fucking USB drive. You know,
they give us. We go there. They give us. You play for 8 hours. They give you a flash drive. We don't do anything with it. Barrett asks if we have footage. We give it to him 2 minutes before we go live. He's like, I'm just gonna pull up a trailer. Yeah, you got the flash drive.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever put a USB into my PS5, so I don't even know what would happen. I don't even know what that would do to my PS5.
You wouldn't have made it back in the day. Remember when I was working at IGN and people were popping their Xbox 360 hard drives off to take home so they could keep reviewing their games?
Because I was in like elementary school. I don't remember that.
All right, I wasn't so fucking old. There's too many. Barrett. There's too much happening today. You shouldn't.
George Bush Senior was still president.
Well, also, welcome back, Barrett. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'm 30.
I mean, I knew it happened.
Yeah. That was a week ago.
And you got a cool tattoo.
I did. I got a Hot Mulligan tattoo. It was a ghost holding a viewfinder. I like
that a lot. I like that a lot. That was cool. That was cool. That's a good way to celebrate.
Yeah.
How's your weekend, Greg?
Overall fine. It was the thing of Friday, we all woke up and Jen looked at Ben and took one look at him. She's like, he's not gonna make it at school today. And I'm like, no, he's fine. He's not he went to school and they immediately sent him home. And then, of course, Ben developed a fever throughout Friday and had a fever throughout Friday into Saturday. He tested positive for the flu. So this little guy was just going through it. But not like his spirits were high. It was just, he was hot. And so then that fever broke going into Sunday, but then Jen got it bad yesterday. So I'm fine. Like, I feel great. But right now, Jen's taking care of Ben because he's also home today. So it's one of those, if Jen goes down, I have to be here to do that. So that all sucked. But then, of course, I just reviewed Avowed all weekend. So I wouldn't even know anything about these PSN problems. All right. Because am I playing it on the Xbox? Am I playing it on a remote play? Am I playing to play anywhere on the PC? The only thing I can't do because it's not out is put it on cloud. But I was out there. I was playing Avowed. You'll hear about it this week.
What me and you should do? You should hold a crucifixion of the PS5s. I think we should gather our PS5s, put them on a stake, and just burn the stake. Jesus. And just be like, we're done with these things.
No way.
Because how do we keep letting the PSN go down? Enough is enough.
What do you mean? How do we keep letting it? It just went down. It's the first time. It's like the longest outages. We'll get to that. I'm tired of it. First off, Demon Hacker Superchat says you can't transfer PS5 saves via USB. Is that true? I haven't even tried.
Yeah, because they're SSD. Oh, are they on? Well, no, they're saves, so they wouldn't be on. I don't know how that works.
That's stupid.
I don't know how that works.
Is that true though? Like they took that away from PS4, from PS3, PS4.
I don't think that's true.
Saves all the time.
I think saves you should be fine, right? There's no reason.
Here's what I want you to do. Blessing, I'm going to do the whole intro. You do the Google. You Google around and find out if we're wrong about this. Because what I do nowadays with the PS5 is when I can't upload to the network because of embargoes, I transfer all my photos, my screenshots to the USB. So I would have assumed the saves data was still there.
Kebab says it works for PS4 saves, but not PS5s.
Yeah, AK says PS5 took away the ability to put saves in the USB drive. Only option is PlayStation Plus cloud syncing. But you can still use a USB drive for PS4 games.
But Outer Wilds, PS4 game, right?
No, PS5. I'm playing the PS5 version.
I didn't realize they got a PS5 version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, they really bent you over a barrel on that one with the PlayStation Plus, huh? Oh my God. I didn't realize they were nickel and diming you like that. What a bunch of assholes.
Again, we put them on the stake and we burn them. Enough with these PS5s.
You know what? Yeah, you're making more sense as we go. We're going to talk about that, of course, because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you like what we do, we'd like you to pick up a Kind of Funny membership. Of course, with the Kind of Funny membership, you give us $10 and you support an 11-person small business. You get all of our shows ad-free. You'd get the ability to watch the afternoon podcast live as we record them, like today's Kind of Funny podcast. And of course, you'd get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Gregway. Of course, you can get that on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, patreon.com/kindoffunny. Of course, Apple and Spotify. If you have no bucks to toss our way, though, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share, leave a review, share it with your friends, ring the bell, leave a comment on Spotify. You know all the different things. Rate and review. It helps us find future Kind of Funny best friends. Of course, we couldn't do the show without you. So if you are watching live, just like Demon Hacker is, you can super chat to be part of the show as we go to have your questions, comments, and concerns read on the air. And keep us honest by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and telling us what we screw up as we screw it up Housekeeping. We are an 11-person business all about live talk shows. After Kind of Funny Games today, at Games Daily today, you're going to get the GAMESCAST. Wait, no, you're not. You're getting a very special screencast. It's going to be Super Bowl trailer reactions with Nick, Tim, Joey, and whoever else wanders into the room watching the biggest trailers from the big game yesterday. After that, the stream's going to be Mike and Nick in the afternoon, so strap in for that. If you're a Kind of Funny member, like I said, you'll be able to get the Gregway momentarily, and of course, you got the Kind of Funny podcast this afternoon and tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services. I hear Tim is back from Vegas and has all manner of stories to tell you on the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Karen Lindener. Today we're brought to you by Rocket Money, Shady Rays, and BetterHelp, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Number 1. The PSN, that's the PlayStation Network, everybody, is back. Sony apologizes with PlayStation Plus gift to players. This is Andy Robinson over at VGC. After nearly 24 hours of downtime, PS5's PSN online service was restored on Saturday, and Sony has apologized with a free gift to players. Quote, network services have fully recovered from an operational issue, the company wrote in a statement. Quote, we apologize for the inconvenience and thank the community for their patience. All PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive an additional 5 days of service, end quote. Reports of PSN going offline started appearing in the early hours of Saturday morning, and Sony reported the issue had been resolved at nearly midnight. There's still no explanation for the PSN downtime, which left many players unable to access any online services, access their library of digital games, or pair new PlayStation 5 disc drives. It's like, okay, access their library, of course. Online services, of course. Pair a new PlayStation 5 disc drive. How many did I get to double digits? Were there double digit people all Saturday? Like, I can't get my fucking disc drive.
If you bought a PS5 Slim or Pro, if you bought a PS5 Pro, maybe, and you brought it home.
What a day! What a day,
Saturday.
honey! We're bringing home the new PlayStation on this Saturday. We're gonna jump right in.
You think about this: you bought a new PS5 Pro, you bought a bunch of discs. Because you're like, oh, I can't wait to play all these physical games.
I hate this digital future shit. I'm not worrying about that.
I can't wait to play all these physical games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You get home, all of a sudden you got to wait a day. And
damn, that sucks.
And it could have been a month.
It could have been.
That.
You never know.
It could have been a month.
Yeah. Blessing, you're fired up about this still.
Have you watched Severance?
Of course.
You know how have you seen Severance season 2 yet?
Yes. I'm all caught up. You want to spoil it? Let's spoil it.
No, let's not spoil it. But
I saw the twist coming just then.
I don't even know what twist we're talking about. I've not seen the last episode or two. But in Severance, right? Severance takes place in the most, I guess, prototypical corporate setting that you can think of, right?
It's inspired by Stanley Parable, right? So just extrapolate what that would look like with people in the cubicles.
Exactly. And I read the sentence of all PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive an additional 5 days of service. And the way that feels ripped out of a Severance episode of we fucked up. Here's a few more days of service, I guess. That'll make up for it.
And you get your Jello party or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
the stupid thing that network services have fully recovered from an operational issue. I can see Mr. Milchek saying that, right?
1000%.
Tell the whole group that 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not actually fired up about this. I think this is actually,
it sucks and it's a huge inconvenience if it affected you, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think this is a great reminder. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's a great reminder. This is not me throwing shade at you because you're in a very different situation. But of course, if you don't know, go into your PlayStation 5, set it as your home console so you can play your library offline. I think that's something a lot of people skip past, don't pay attention to, don't think about, and then something like this happens and you're locked out for a day. Wouldn't have helped Blessing, of course, because he's trying to get a save that's between two PS5s. But
yeah, and I think the fascinating part about it this time around versus what has happened previous times, because you're right that this doesn't happen all the time, at least anymore. There was a time where I feel like around Christmas, PSN would go down because of DDoS attacks, year over year. Just haters wanted to ruin Christmas for PlayStation gamers for some reason. That's not happened as much, and of course, I think whenever this happens, people go back to the big one of the 2011 outage that lasted for 30 days, Greg?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Kelly. It might have been 28. Remember something like that.
Said 28. Oh,
I
28
remember
days.
it might have been something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I think the thing that stands out to me when this happens currently is how connected everything is. Where when this happened during the PS3
23
era,
days according to Wikipedia.
23 days. Wow, man, we really stretched that out. Like at some point,
I mean, it felt like a lifetime.
yeah, I could have said 2 months and it would have been.
Oh, now 24 days according to Wikipedia.
But yeah, like this is one of those ones where when this happened, I guess like during the PS4 era of like it's down during Christmas, or even during the PS3 era, I think there was still a level of games being offline enough to where, oh man, this sucks. I can't play Call of Duty online. I can't play like XYZ game online. But at the very least, like I can still play probably the majority of things that I still own.
Sure.
When this happens in 2025, like it was the wake up call to me of like, oh wow, I can't play like these games. Oh wow, like these single player games I play are always online. Like damn. So I think maybe it sticks out to people a bit more when it happens nowadays, which I think would lead to the amount of Reddit freakouts that I think me and you saw over the weekend.
When you're like, is PSN down? I'm like, oh yeah, Reddit's freaking out. I just kept sending you link and screenshot after screenshot.
Yeah. But ultimately, like it's 18 hours. I don't think it's the biggest deal, but I think it's the tough thing of it happened once for 23 days. So now whenever it happens, it's that scary thing of, oh no, is it the one? It's like when a big earthquake happens in San Francisco and like people are like, now when everything's shake, people are like, all right, is everything going down now? Like, are the buildings gonna topple? Like what's going to happen here?
Yeah, you're right. And I think, I have the chat pulled up. I see people being like, it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't even 24 hours. Well, we can say all that, but when it is, this is your chance to play. The kid's asleep. You finally got the day off work. It's just your Saturday. It's your weekend. And you sit down and you get caught up in the, oh, well, I didn't turn this PlayStation into my home unit, so it doesn't think, and I can't save. Blessing can't get it. It's like all these little things, like they're inconveniences, sure, but they fucking suck and they ruin the day that you had planned in your head, right? Like I can't tell you the amount of times I've had it mainly for reviews of, oh, well, this doesn't work the way it's supposed to yet, or this, that, the other. I run into some issue that just sucks and ruins it, and then I'm all pissed off about it. Like, I get it 100%. And of course it's annoying, and it is obviously an ongoing conversation that so many people have been fired up about, the digital future and not really owning your games. And, so many of our audience members who do want physical for the rest of their life and don't want the digital, all these different things. And then even to jump in here, I'm like, oh, you can't transfer your PS5 save off a USB. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
there's a bunch of stuff going on.
Like,
right?
I couldn't use my portal, which makes sense, right? Of like, well, this is just a brick now until this gets fixed. I think also a good thing to point out with it is one, there was very little communication. They didn't really communicate at all about it.
Of course, horrible communication.
There was one tweet from Ask PlayStation that was basically like, oh yeah, things are down right now. We're working on it. And that was, I think, 6 hours into it. And then the next thing we heard was a day later of them being like, okay, it's back. So I think there's that. And then also the unfortunate timing of it being 6 p.m. on a Friday and and like most of a Saturday. That's just unfortunate timing of people coming home from work being like, man, I can't wait to spend my weekend playing XYZ game, and then not being able to do it.
I mean, in the live chat right over in SuperChats, Mitchell Feltis resubscribed for 13 months in a row and says, I was going to play Monster Hunter with my friends after work and I wasn't able to, right? There was a beta for Monster Hunter Wilds happening right here. So it is this whole issue of that. Of course, Kind of Funny is a action RPG expert. Xanth texted me, he was like, yo, you got to tell PlayStation to figure this out. It's weird to be on a treadmill and not be playing Path of Exile or Diablo. Like there are, it's just the way this all functions into people's life. And it is the usual thing I talk about all the time, even with our content, right? Of being there when people want you to be there is what it's all about. Because of course, if you're not, then you get replaced in the same way you're talking about, right? It reminds me of that Simpsons episode, right, where the cable gets cut or whatever, and they're all watching TV, and it's a message to the Wiggums of just like, it's to everybody, but it's playing on TV. I'm just like, your TV's down. Don't panic and don't try to engage in sexual intercourse. But like, it's just like stopping them from finding something more fun to go do. Right. And it's the same thing here of like, this happens to you and you're like, shit, well, I have all these Steam games. Steam's working. I have Xbox Game Pass. That's working. Why not jump over there and try to go into something that way?
Yeah. What are you going to do with your additional 5 days of service?
What a fucking, like, it was like, when it was happening, Sony, everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to see what game they gave us. Remember when they gave us Infamous? Remember when they gave us this? Blah, blah. Then this fucking, you nailed it. This goddamn severance quote. All PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive an additional 5 days of service.
To be fair,
don't even give me nothing at that point.
Yeah.
Give me fucking nothing at that point.
And like, that's the thing is, I don't want to shoot a corporation bail, but like, it is one of those things where I'm like, man, we're so entitled, thinking that after 18 hours of it being down, oh, you're gonna give me God of War Ragnarok, like give me Spider-Man 2, like 5 days. giving us more service for the people that, yeah, like I can use my PSN that I paid for 18 hours. Yeah, like give me that time of service. It makes sense the way they're doing this, but it is just funny to read out loud of like, oh yeah, you'll get an additional 5 days. Because I read that and I'm like, all right, cool, I guess.
Whatever. Yeah,
I'm gonna have it forever anyway. Like I'll turn off PSN when I'm dead, I guess.
Super chats. Smoking Joe's 420 said the lack of updates on what happening is what really sucked. And then Shays Lay says I couldn't watch Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Just locked out of everything like this. Yeah. And everybody on the PC laughing at you. Couldn't stand it. Yeah, it's just bizarre. Yeah, go.
Well, I'll just say I think one last thing on this is also like the idea of your own security of passwords, information, like the lack of communication on this, I think put people in a panic because again, this can stretch out to so many what if scenarios of, all right, are my passwords compromised? Do I need to change things? Do I like, is my credit card info tied to my PlayStation? I think the one big misstep they had here is just the lack of communication over the 18 hours. I don't think one tweet is enough to address this when we've seen this happen before, and it has led to people having to like take precautions when it comes to their personal information. So
for sure,
I think that's the one thing where they could have done a lot better.
I wonder what happened. I wonder if we'll ever actually find out. You know, when it was going on, somebody had pointed out on one of the Blue Sky threads I was reading, I think, or maybe the Reddit, of how Xbox had in the last few months had a big DDoS attack, and that they had talked about, they fended it off, but maybe this was that as well. Who knows?
Yeah. So
maybe, when Shuhei left, he put a little virus in there, set it all off.
Ted Price, him and Ted Price look at each other. We're like, we're gonna.
Ted Price is still there. Ted Price is shooting himself in the foot.
He's the inside agent. So we're gonna take our PS5s. We're gonna find 2 guillotines. We're gonna put the PS5s in guillotine.
Guillotines. Oh, that's what we're doing. At that, burning up the steak was one thing. I'm not ready to throw the baby out of the bathwater there, but it is funny to be like, I don't know, talking about it this way, and also, I don't know, it's just a weird one of like. It's all. I think everybody is still so gun shy, right? Of just that 2011 outage, even if you've only heard about it in your history books, but then having nothing there, and then your credit card and every other leak. Yeah, it's just weird, and it's really bizarre that they're not talking more about it. But we'll see. I guess
we'll see
when they're actually legally forced to tell you your credit card information leaked. That's probably when they'll get to it.
Oh man, I hope not. I hope that's not this. If I had to wait 5 months for them to be like, oh, by the way, back in February, your credit card was hacked, I'd be very mad.
Let's move on to story number 2 and stay in the PlayStation ecosystem. Number 2, Insomniac Games pitched Resistance 4, but never got it approved. This is Matt Kim at IGN. There was apparently a real push to get Resistance 4 made by the folks over at Insomniac Games, but unfortunately, the game never received the green light. Insomniac's founder and outgoing president, Ted Price, is sitting down for interviews now that it's been announced he's retiring after 30 years at the helm of the studio. He most recently hung out with Kind of Funny Games for a chat and was asked if there was a favorite game of his that was pitched but never made it, to which he gave his answer. Quote, yeah, I'll share one. Resistance 4. According to Price, he and the developers, quote, did pitch that one, and it was a wonderful concept. And it just, in terms of timing and market opportunity, didn't work out, end quote. He added that the Insomniac team were passionate about extending the story further because I do believe that Resistance has set up a really cool alternate history base where anything can happen with the Chimera and where they go and what their origins are, end quote. Blessing, of course, this was from my interview with Ted Price. Went live. Thanks for everybody watching, sharing, breaking on interviews about this or news bits about this. I knew this would be one of the ones that got made the rounds. Before we even get into it, what was your history with Resistance, Bless?
Oh, very little. I have bought Resistance 3. I heard more about Resistance. I had a friend, Lillian, growing up. And
okay, come on now. We can't be introducing new video game friend lore here.
Oh yeah,
I was like, it's gonna be Addison. It's gonna be somebody else.
Well, it was Lillian. It was Lillian and Stevie. And I think Stevie might have been talking. Yeah, I brought up Stevie before. Y'all know Stevie.
Okay.
But Lillian and Stevie would talk about how good of a co-op game Resistance was, and like kept bringing up the fact that, oh, we gotta play Resistance. And then one day I think I saw it at GameStop. And in like the $10 section. So I bought Resistance 3 and I started playing it at home, and I was like, this doesn't really do much for me.
Boo.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe I just needed to play with friends. Like, I don't know why I didn't hit up Lillian and Stevie and be like, yo, come through.
Well, it's that thing, even like Resistance 3 was, I think, so different than Resistance 1 and 2, right? That's what, if they were talking about co-op, I think
they were talking
about
jazz. 2 probably.
Yeah, exactly. Resistance 3 was when it was like, even though it wasn't, it was way more in line with, I think, what you think of a PlayStation game now. when people want to make fun of it, right? Of like a dad having to do dad things. Like that's what Resistance 3 was, right?
Yeah.
He had to set off to stop the Chimera because of his son and shit. It was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is it's interesting because I've heard a lot about Resistance 4 throughout the years and conversations, and I'm never sure how much is actually public. And so to see Ted come out and this make the rounds, I was like, oh, that's interesting. That I guess I thought this was maybe more well known than I thought it was, that this happened to it. Again, I personally believe it's for the best. I understand Insomniac wanting to make Resistance 4. I understand them wanting to continue on the Resistance thing. I just think that PlayStation making first-person shooters isn't the way to go necessarily. And I think Resistance 3 showed Resistance 3. Well, my favorite Resistance, of course, is the PSP one. Resistance. Nathan Grayson. I'm out there. I'm in a leather jacket. Why
Isn't Nathan Grayson the journalist?
I think they're two people.
Are there two Nathan Graysons?
I think so, right? Jack, correct me if I'm wrong. Resistance, the Retribution thing, and it's Nathan Grayson's the main character. Retribution, right? We're waiting.
Yeah, chat. Let us know.
That's interesting. It's interesting. I never thought about that. If Nathan Grayson, the video game journalist, is also Nathan Grayson from Resistance.
Nathan
right? Maybe
Hale.
This is Nathan Hale. No, I just have Nathan Grayson on the brain. Nathan Hale. Anyways, that was my favorite. Wait, no, that's not right. Nathan Hale from Resistance. I'm talking about Resistance Retribution.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry.
I mean, I looked up Nathan Hale.
Who's the fucking guy from Resistance 1?
According to Wikipedia, Nathan Hale was an American patriot, soldier, and spy for the
James Grayson. All right, we're
James Grayson. Jesus Christ, Greg.
I didn't fuck that one up. You're the one bringing in Nathan. You're the one coming in here. Like,
well, you said Nathan Grayson, and the first name I saw in this Wikipedia thing was Nathan Hale, so I had just assumed that was the Nathan you were
already told
talking
you to
about.
cut your mic, Barrett. There's too many people dialing in today.
So there's Nathan Hale, and then there's Jason Hale.
Who's Jason Hale?
Sorry, I made up Jason. Who's the other Hale?
Rocky Guardian says, I thought Nathan Grayson was from Batman. No, that's Dick Grayson. That's Robin/Nightwing. That I got off the thing. So it was Nathan Hale from Resistance 1, Jennifer Hale, the voice actor, James Grayson from Resistance Retribution, Nathan Capelli, of course, from Resistance 3. Anyways, Retribution was my favorite Resistance because I'm a PSP sicko. Then I would put Resistance 3 right behind it because I did really enjoy that story. I thought it was, I've never been one for the hoorah, we're the army, we're the military, we're going out and doing that kind of thing in a first-person shooter. So Resistance 3 story of like literally like, I'm trying to have a nice life, but you got to pick up your gun and go do this for your family. That worked for me in terms of a narrative. And I think, yeah, it was the prototypical PlayStation. What I'm dialing to a conversation about Resistance 4 is that I just feel like Resistance in general, I mean, obviously being a launch title for the PlayStation 3 and hearing Ted talk about that and how hard that was to get going, even doubling back a little bit to when Shu was on her shows talking about how hard it was for PlayStation 3 launch games. Resistance and Killzone and all that stuff, while they have this lineage, like I just don't think in the current market is, whereas Resistance 4 would have been launching, we needed a first-person shooter that way. And so many people look to those franchises to be the Call of Duty of PlayStation. I just don't think you need that. And so then you get into a weird thing of what 4 would actually be. And I know Colin was always so adamant that we've never actually seen a Chimera. I don't remember the lore this well, but they were all implanted in the ground, right? And then they took over human bodies, so these Chimera aren't even the real Chimera, like blah 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 blah. Going to the Chimera planet and killing them never did much for me. Then now we're going from being too much like Call of Duty to being probably too much like Halo. Bless.
Yeah, my question, and did I don't know if Ted gave you more info on this, but do you know what era of Insomniac pitched Resistance 4? Like, was this post Spider-Man or was this like right after Resistance? Oh no,
3? This is pre Spider-Man. No, this was like they were leading out of Resistance, post Resistance 3, pre Spider-Man.
Gotcha. Which, like, I mean, this makes me feel like this game not going through is probably the best decision because you look at Insomniac
100%.
now and they're thriving, right? Like, I think the projects that they went with, assuming this is post Resistance 3, so I'm looking at them as doing Sunset Overdrive, and then I assume they did the Ratchet and Clank remake in 2016. That must have been them, right? Because they just do all the Ratchet games. So
yeah. So I have their timeline looked up, and this is me and Ted went through the entire timeline and talked about all of this. One of the you see Resistance 3 happen in 2011, right? And then they do All for One, they do Full Frontal Assault PlayStation for Ratchet, right? But then they go on this like what I consider a walkabout, right? Where it's like they go and they do Outer Knots for iOS, Fuse for PlayStation 3 and Xbox, right? Ratchet for PS3, Sunset Overdrive for Xbox, Slowdown Bowl for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I don't even know what that was. Fruit Fusion, Bad Dinos, and Digit and Dash for iOS, and then Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4, right? But then they're still in Song of the Deep, which means so much to me. Then they're doing Edge of Nowhere, The Unspoken, like all this stuff before they come back to PlayStation and then become obviously a PlayStation Studio, but come back to PlayStation in 2018. And I really feel some of that is the failure. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, not the failure, but the failure to get approval for Resistance 4. I think when you look at this lineup and PlayStation's like, we don't want a Resistance 4, they go, okay, well, we're putting that down, and then what else do we want to try? And they try all this stuff where, of course, Fuse, they partner with EA, and I think are treated pretty badly there. Sunset Overdrive partner with Xbox, right, for an Xbox One game, and just doesn't get it as a cult favorite, cult classic, but doesn't achieve those levels of whatever. For them to come back and then become the Spider-Man studio, become a PlayStation first party officially, like, I think that is the best thing. And I think it's kind of like, Bless, I know you know this well. Mm-hmm. You're dating somebody. You're like, but you're like, are we in it? Are we out? What are we doing? I don't know. And you go, let's break up. Let's take a break or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And you go out and you date a bunch of other people, and you're like, you know what? All these people sucked. I want to go. I want to make it official. I'm coming back to you. I thought the grass was greener. Turns out the grass was pretty green already. This all sucked.
I feel that.
Yeah,
preaching the choir.
Am I?
I gotta ask Barrett. Barrett, what is going on out there? There's like a party happening.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's happening
Nick,
over
what
there.
Is happening?
Bring Nick to the microphone. I can't hear.
Nick's coming. He's coming.
Nick, come to the microphone. I can't hear. I miss you, Nick.
Back, Greg. I miss you back, Greg. Greg's like the boy in the bubble right now. Apparently Mike was watching some sort of Spanish reality television show where a guy was watching his wife his girlfriend get banged. And then he gets pissed off, and then he runs back to where she's getting banged.
I have seen this.
And then that was a whole thing, Greg. We'll show you when you come in. It's really powerful stuff.
Go point out to Mike that about an hour ago I sent him a fucking text message or a Slack about work, and he has not responded. But he can go watch this banging show.
Yeah, but it's really entertaining, Greg. I don't know if you know. It's taking up a lot of our mind space right now.
What's funny is that having seen the video, I now understand the exact parts you guys were cheering at. Because there's one part where it gets really wild of like, wow.
Yeah, she's like, they're doing the sex, Greg. They're banging. They're like banging.
They're banging.
I think that the chat points out, I think that's this cuck porn that they were watching out there.
I mean, it's close. Yeah, Nick gets a shrug.
Nick, send me a link. Nick, send me the link on Slack.
I mean, one man's reality TV is another man's cuck porn, right, Greg?
Yes. That's why they get those chairs in the hotel room.
Oh, that's exactly why they have those chairs. You never want to sit in those chairs. It's always a little crunchy.
Hope Ted Price.
Anyways, send me the link. And back to this. Cozy Bear with the super chat says, potentially unpopular take. I really love Resistance 3's box art. It probably didn't help sell the game well, but I appreciate the artistry. I love Resistance 3's box art. We had a poster up forever in the original spare bedroom.
Is Resistance? Oh yeah, it was the Resistance 3 box art is fucking sick.
I don't think, I mean, we can point to a lot of issues why Resistance 3 didn't do as well as it should have. Remember they fucking forced the move shit in there, and they showed Kevin Butler with a move thing, so people thought it was a move thing. This is a dope ass trailer.
I was gonna ask cover. What people's perception.
Look out! The only problem with this fucking cover is the gigantic goddamn PlayStation move thing at the top.
Oh yeah, yuck. But yeah, no, I mean this fucking box art is fucking sick. I was gonna ask what people's impression of Resistance 3 was, because when I just mentioned earlier that it didn't really hit for me as much. There were people in chat that were like, bad takes blessed, back at it again. And I'm like, is that crazy to say that Resistance 3 didn't work on me? Was it one of the GOATs of the PS4 or PS3?
As someone who was definitely on the outside looking in, because I wasn't a PS3 kid, my friends who were more into the PlayStation side of video games, their impression of it always was kind of it's just a kind of generic shooter.
That's kind of how I felt about it. But I was wondering if I was way off about that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's like anything else, who knows? Coming from the critical side of it and the IGN side, and again, the Greg Miller side, where I'm not a first-person shooter person at all, I really love Resistance 3. I really enjoyed that story. They did a great job, again, of, I think, being God of War and Last of Us before those games existed. I know that, stories about fathers and families aren't that, but it's they did a great job of not being hey everybody, I'm Nathan Hale in the first game, and I'm an army guy, and hey everybody in the second one, I'm Nathan Hale, and now I have the Chimeran virus,
and now I'm Nathan Grayson.
Now I'm Nathan Grayson.
Now I'm Nathan Grayson. Now I'm Dick Grayson.
I'm Dick Cheney.
Nathan. Yo, did you see the girl from Even Stevens got shot in the face with a pellet gun?
What?
I like it came up on my TikTok randomly. I'm like, what the fuck? Not Christy Carlson Romano. Like y'all gotta. Man, yeah, she was out. I forget exactly. She was out
they were shooting clay pigeons with. She took her husband out to go clay pigeon shooting because they enjoy that activity. And somebody next to them, Barrett, wasn't using gun safety and shot her in the face.
Yeah, like in like the eyelid.
And she's okay. She's alive. She's fine. She has not lost vision in her eye, but there is a pellet behind her eye that they can't get out.
Yeah, there's like
going to get out.
Yeah, there's a.
It's all up on her Instagram. It's all up on her Instagram. God bless her.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I saw that. I was like, and then somebody points out Kim Possible. I can't confirm or deny.
Yes,
she wasn't
Kim Possible.
Okay,
I'm a very big Christy Carlson Romano fan.
I was even Stevens. I was all about it. I was like, yeah, this is a great show.
My childhood right there.
Yeah, can't do that. Anyways, back to Resistance 3. Yeah, it was. It's one of those. I don't know currently. I would never tell you right now you need to go play Resistance 3, but at the time, I remember it being a really enjoyable story, and having a grounded thing that I liked a lot for it. So
gotcha.
I don't know if that's where it's at or not. Right. I want to read this one. This is a you're wrong. All right. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna need your help here, Barrett. All right. Brad says Resistance 3 box art is nice. The Sea of Thieves box art clears it though. I don't remember the Sea of Thieves box art. I love Sea of Thieves. We've talked about this a lot.
I love that Sea of Thieves was not in the conversation. We're bringing it to the conversation.
It was. I brought it up.
Did you bring it up? I'm sorry. I missed
it. No. You're right. I thought this was Song of the Deep. You're right. I have no idea why this is a comparison. My apologies. Oh, okay. I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it now. Yeah.
I mean, this does go hard.
As someone who loves pirates more than Chimera, I guess. The Resistance 3 box art.
I guess he says he's not even sure if he loves pirates more than Chimera.
The Resistance 3 box art I think is cooler. This is good. This is good.
On the long list of Gamescasts, one we got to do is ranking the greatest video game box art. We each show up with 5. We each pick 5, and then we rank the entire list.
I got number 1.
I love that.
I already know number 1, and so we don't even need to have this Gamescast. Boom. Game of the year, 10 out of 10, including Batman Arkham City.
It is missing the featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. New funky mode included.
I appreciate how fast Barry got that. He was ready for that one. Okay, yeah. No, I was making sure I cleared all the super chats about Resistance and everything. Oh, here we go. Volk Dasher says, nostalgia hits us, but Resistance 3 was not a great game and did not perform well, lol. Same goes for the kill zones. I would sacrifice a lot for a new Order game, but it for sure is not what PlayStation should do. Now, first off, I'm well aware it did not perform. That's the long and short of Resistance 3 and the arguments about why it didn't. Was it a great game or not? I don't know. I'd have to leave that up to you. What is the Metacritic on Resistance 3? Not that matters, but I mean, again, for us back in the
83,
day.
I think.
Oh, come on now. Let's not be mean here. You know what I mean? Civilization right now has an 81. So there you go. Resistance 3 is a better game than Civ 7. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it works. You can't stop that.
That's objective.
You can't argue. That's math. You know what I mean? It's just like Tim on In Review nowadays.
It's as objective as you can get.
Blessing.
Greg.
I'm enjoying talking to you, and I'm happy to talk to you more. But first, I want to remind everybody about the Kind of Funny membership. If you want to support our shenanigans, where Mike can ignore his boss and just watch porn, apparently, at work, we need your help with the Kind of Funny subscription. You can pick up a membership over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Twitch, Apple, Spotify, and of course, YouTube, Patreon. I screwed something up there, but it's too late. What you do is you get all the shows ad-free. You get the ability to watch the afternoon podcast, like today's Kind of Funny podcast, as we record it privately. And, of course, you get your daily dose of me, Greg, in a series I call Gregway. But right now, you're not using your membership benefits, so here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Rocket Money. Missing out on a show that everyone's talking about isn't an option for people like me. So many of us are constantly signing up for this streaming service or that streaming service, and then a few months later realize that we're still paying for the service long after we finish the show. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they were still paying for things that they totally didn't even realize. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can see all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Plus, if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it is such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking all dope. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY to get 35% off polarized sunglasses. shadyrays.com, promo code FUNNY. This episode's brought to you by BetterHelp. When you are having serious conversations with the people in your life, we often hear them talk about red flags that we should avoid. But what if we focus more on looking for green flags in friends and partners? If you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify green flags, actively practice them in your relationships, and embody the green flag energy yourself. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, and it serves over 5 million people worldwide. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. betterhelp.com/kindafunny.
Number 3 on the Roper Report. Fortnite's upcoming Disney universe has moved to a quote-unquote stable build, insiders claim. This is Chris Scullion over at VGC. Fortnite's planned Disney universe has moved to a stable build, according to a prominent Fortnite insider. HypeX, who regularly leaks Fortnite information, noted on X that the Disney collab plan for Fortnite had just moved into a stable build/branch. While this doesn't pinpoint exactly how long it'll be before the new universe is released, there's no set rule for when development roadmap reaches the creation of the first stable build. It does suggest that development is is continuing on this seemingly major collaboration. In February 2024, Disney announced that it was investing $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games, and that as part of this, the two companies would be partnering to create an quote, all new games and entertainment universe connected to Fortnite. A teaser trailer for the new universe showed what appears to be a large world divided into smaller islands, each with different theme based on various Disney properties. Blessing Adeoye Jr. Scale of 1 to 10, how stoked are you for the Disney collab?
3.5.
3.5 out of 10. Wow.
Yeah,
Not
what
good.
about you?
That's not good.
What you got?
I'm higher than that. I don't like. It's funny to keep throwing up. If you're an audio listener, Bear keeps throwing up Mickey Mouse with a gun. All these different versions of fan art of him in Fortnite. I don't think that's what we're getting. So it'll be interesting to see what they're doing with it, right? And this has to. Like John Drake had to have his fingers in this. You know what I mean? Like he's 20th Century Fox. That's his title or whatever. But he's involved with the Disney stuff.
Yeah.
He's over there doing something over there.
I'm definitely in a place of not that I'll believe it when I see it, but more so. I guess I need the concept like on my TV, the controller in my hands, and actually playing through it to be convinced on like what they're doing here. Because I see the money moves, right? Of hey, big IP, Fortnite. Hey, big IP owners, Disney. Let's put our big IPs together and have just an IP bust all over the place.
When has that ever failed? Right? That's the biggest thing. When has that ever failed? That's the biggest thing about it, where it's like, if it was Disney comes to Fortnite, $, a very weird juxtaposition, yes, of Elsa running around with an AK and Mario with a rocket launcher. But it would be like, I understand that. The fact that they're talking about it being like, it's going to be this collab that's Fortnite and Disney, it's connected, it's this island thing. It really then goes, okay, so I'm imagining it's some kind of spin-off similar to the Lego world, Brick World, whatever it's called, similar to the rock band that isn't rock band, like the
Rocket Racing.
Exactly.
But that's kind of that's where I come back to this as well, of like how many of those have worked.
Exactly. That's my whole point of like, we had all these things launched and there was a lot of fervor and excitement for them, kind of like they made a big deal about it. But then it was like, okay, it's not Rock Band, so that everybody steps away from that. And it's like, okay, it's Rocket League exists, not really this thing. Like, I do not know what's going on with the Lego building, whatever the hell it's called right now. But it's like, okay, is Disney enough to bring in a bunch of different people to do this? Maybe, probably, you know what I mean? Like, I know that, like, you know, Joey still loves Disney Dreamlight Valley. I know how many people like Disney Infinity. I think you put Disney into a free game that then has microtransactions this way. But I just don't know what you're doing on those islands to justify why you'd want to jump in over and over again.
Yeah, I need to see what the concept is. I think not worry, because I think there's enough money behind it, and I think the thing about IP power is that IP power is enough to at least, I think, get a baseline number of people in. Oh, there's a Disney Fortnite thing happening. Oh, okay, I'll jump in and see what that's about. Like, that's gonna get a baseline amount of people in, no matter what. I think how good it is gonna determine how many of those people stay. Just in the same way that the Guitar Hero Rock Band mode in Fortnite, right? Like, that got us in. Now, did we stay with it? I don't think that many people stayed with it. And yeah, I'm very interested to see what that is, because like the island thing for me doesn't sound as fun and interesting, especially if I'm going over here and it's all right, I'm here at Mickey Mouse Island. Now I'm gonna go over to the bridge over to ESPN Island and hang out with Shaquille O'Neal. It's like, what are we doing? Like, what is the synergy here that is actually going to be worthwhile and exciting for players?
Do you think your excitement for these islands is lessened because you're so excited for WWE 2K25 The Island?
Oh, 1000%. I mean, Roman Reigns.
Is your background still the Roman Reigns thing?
Yeah, my background is still the Roman Reigns statue from the island. But yeah, like I want to see what this is, because obviously it's gonna be big. Like, whatever they're working on, it seems like it's gonna be in the same vein as the Lego thing of, hey, here's a new vertical of what Fortnite is. I just wonder if I'm gonna look at it and it's gonna feel like, oh, we cashed in. Like, just it's Mickey Mouse's face. You click into it and you're hanging out with Mickey and Goofy, and that's about it. Or if it's going to feel like something special and unique and fun for like how you engage players. Is it going to be Skylanders or like you mentioned, actually Disney Infinity is the better example. Is it going to be Disney Infinity? Is it going to be something that's, are you just going to give Mickey Mouse a gun? I don't think you are, but we'll see.
Super chats, JVP, that's John Van Pelt, super chats and says it's called Kingdom Hearts, which is a great point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that is happening, floating around. And then Downey Downerson in the chat says, I play Fortnite Festival every week. They have added new songs every Thursday for over a year now. And my point wasn't that the Fortnite Festival doesn't exist anymore. It's just that I've never heard another person other than Downey Downerson talk about Fortnite Festival since it launched. Like, I've not heard anybody say they're still playing. And they put in a press release that they're selling guitars again for it. Or like, I know it's there, but it's just like, I didn't want to give a shit about this except Downey Downerson. That's all. I don't know.
A lot
God
of money,
bless
though.
you. A lot of money.
That's the thing, is when you put that much money behind something, there better be a good idea behind it. And to your point, right? Like, John Drake, like, is this his baby? Like, or like, does he have a role in this baby? I like, there's amount of, I know John Drake knows what he's doing. And so like, I have to believe that there is a vision behind this that is inspired. I just got to see what it is.
It's a normal thing where it's like, we all believe in John Drake. We all know John Drake knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, John Drake, he's constantly being hampered. He should be in charge of all of it. Because right now, over on his bio, it just reads General Manager, 20th Century Games and VP, Business Dev for Disney/Pixar, Lucas, and 20th Century Games. So he's clearly over there. He clearly is investing. He knows the Epic people. Says, I don't believe for a second that John's in so many goddamn meetings about the Predator. He can't come over and be in a meeting. He's talking about Disney and Fortnite getting together.
I would also warn you, like, yes, we all believed in John Drake, but who did everybody else once believe in? Harvey Dent.
Joe Hendry. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Think about it.
You just called.
Well, the thing is, like, John's already.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But he'd have to have a nice face to begin with. John's an asshole to your face too. You know what I mean? Like he would be the first to tell you.
No, I know.
I love John, but oh my god, this guy, he fucking comes for the legs right away.
Can you call John Drake and be like, yo, how much are you involved in the Disney Fortnite?
See, I feel like that's where like that's too real of a call for a publicly traded business about something. It's like when I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get into it. But I know John listens to the show, so I expect I will expect a text before 8:45 p.m. tonight, because I think he usually watches it or listens later in the night. He's usually pretty mad because we're wrong, and that's why I think he's so mean. Because
I don't like that John Drake listens to the show because he knows too much. Like he's been in the industry for too long.
Let me see the last text. I think it might have been about you being wrong about something.
It probably was. It was about tariffs. A lot of people were getting on me about tariffs. Or was he mad? Or was he mad about Tim winning Game Showdown again? Which one is it?
Yeah. Yep. I heard about that.
Oh no, it was about when Shu came after him. In our Shu interview, Sean, he just took us straight for no reason. So this is he sent it at 7:04 p.m. on a Wednesday. Me doing the dishes, minding my business, listening to your interview, and then it's the 50 Cent. Why say fuck me?
Why was it super blurred? Oh, because
it's because it's autofocusing on my face. Gotcha. I can't easily throw it up without it. But you know the GIF I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
You're saying fuck me for. Good stuff. Number 4. Take-Two is seemingly hinting at the eventual Grand Theft Auto 6 PC release. This is Tom Ivan at VGC. Hold on a second now. Okay, no, we just had 2. Now 3 out of 4
VGCs.
Stories VGC. VGC, you're killing it out there. Everybody go support their Patreon. Video Game Chronicle. They got to get VGC.com. I hate that they don't have VGC.com.
Oh, yeah, they should get VGC.com. Here's the thing. If you wonder why, oh, man, there's more and more VGC every week, it's because every other video games website is dying. Like, VGC is like the one where I'm like, okay, you guys are a rock to me right now. You and IGN. But even IGN, I'm like, how long are you going to be here? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Red put out that thing that I thought was interesting about all the slopware coming to all the digital storefronts. Required reading. Everybody go check that out. Anyways, number 4, Tom Ivan, Grand Theft Auto PC. I mean, it seems like a foregone conclusion, but there's like 7 paragraphs here. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has seemingly teased plans to bring Grand Theft Auto 6 to PC at some point. Grand Theft Auto games have historically been released for consoles first before making their way to PC at a later date. Therefore, it's anticipated that GTA 6 will come to PC following its PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S release this fall, even if that is yet to be confirmed. In an interview with IGN.com, Take-Two boss Zelnick discussed the growing importance of the PC gaming business and the publisher's strategy for releasing titles for the platform. Quote, so with Civilization 7, it's available on console and PC and Switch right away. I like how he does not count Switch as a console. He said for X, this is a recently released game. With regard to others in our lineup, we don't always go across all platforms simultaneously. Historically, Rockstar has started with some platforms and then historically moved on to other platforms. We have seen PC become a much more important part of what used to be a console business. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that trend continue, he added. Of course, there will be a new console generation too, end quote.
So fun fact, VGC actually has VGC.news. Type that in and goes directly to the website.
All right, cool. I'll take that. Pretty
cool.
Who's sitting on VGC.com?
I'll type it. Let's see.
I put VCG. That's not gonna be good. That's not what I want.
This domain may be for sale, but there's a video of Richard Wolff on the U.S. Empire. What's going on here? I just got like a.
I see it too. I'll pull it up. Will the U.S. Empire go to war with China?
And then you click on. I clicked on the gray button. It says, "Sorry, the domain is not for sale."
So I imagine Andy Robinson probably doesn't want to have to talk to Richard Wolff to get the domain.
Do you think Richard Wolff has it?
I mean,
because it says, please watch the video first. The button will be active
find
then.
out after watching the video.
Oh, so you think Richard Wolff is probably paying for advertising space on free domains, and you go to a bunch of free domains, he just has this video up. That's what I would assume.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it says sponsor here.
Yeah. When I visit sponsor, that Richard Wolff's website doesn't work.
Yeah, now people are thinking this is Dick Wolf from Law and Order. It is not Dick Wolf.
Dun, dun.
This is a different Richard Wolff. I imagine.
Everybody, here's our goal for 2025. I forgot what year it was. I was about to say 2023. Chat, I'm going to do no further work on this. You have to just come to me with the information. We need to get VGC.com for VGC. All right. What are next steps? Question mark. I know
we got to fight Richard Wolf is what's going to happen.
I've seen, no, I don't think he's connected to it. I've seen that there's a way to look at .com and see who owns it. I'm not a scientist. I'm just saying, I know there's stuff out there. Someone just get me the email who I got to hit up to be like, hey, can I buy this from my friends?
I imagine 3letters.com probably extremely expensive.
You think so? Just random.
Like just 3randomletters.com. Because imagine like how many websites are made nowadays. And like,
okay, people are talking about who is lookup. That sounds good. Hold on. New tab. Who is lookup? Of course, GTA coming to what's his face? Yeah, of course. Whatever. You know,
coming to PC.
It'll come to PC later. It'll be a rough launch on PC. People will complain about it, and then it'll get better after a couple of months, and then we'll all shut the fuck up.
Sure. Man, VGC.com was registered November 4th, 1994. It expires right now. It's been updated a bunch, obviously. It's going to expire on November 3rd, 2025. The registration's private. It's to buy a proxy thing. Huh. Well, everybody, I want you to on November 2nd, everybody message me and let me know that I should start seeing if I can buy it tomorrow.
Yeah, like him in chat says all 3-letter domains were gone in the mid-90s.
That just doesn't seem fair. You know what I mean?
I mean, we weren't early enough. It was the Wild West.
Sure. But I mean, like, who's making money off this right now?
I mean, apparently the guy that had, like, we're going to buy it, or I guess it expires?
Yeah. But they could probably renew it.
Yeah, they'll renew, I assume.
Because I was going to say, if we can, like, hit them up the day before it expires and be like, yo, you're about to lose this, we'll pay you $30.
They're not going to want $30.
Well, it's either $30 or zero. It's going to expire. Just take the $30. Buy yourself a Happy Meal.
I mean, I hear you.
That the landlord sitting on like empty lots instead of actually like getting people inside. You know,
they probably wouldn't take $30 just off the rip. But when we show them photos of Jordan Middler, we're like, look at this little boy. You know what I mean? He can't grow hair. Come Help! I got a real life Charlie Brown over here. All right, can you please just stop stealing the football from him and let me get the goddamn URL?
Comrade Serpent in the chat makes a good point. What's the ad revenue of just having that empty domain with like random videos going up? You know, we got to think about that in terms of what we pay.
How many random people are just going to VGC.com? A lot now because we've talked about it.
No, that's why we got it. VGC News. VGC.
We are inadvertently raising the price of VGC.
Yeah, we should stop this segment as soon as possible because the more we talk about this, the higher
here's what we should do. Here's what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you, do a great job building the show. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
From now on, when we do a VGC story, we should say from VGC.news.
Okay.
That way we start driving it home to everybody that you could do that.
I like it.
Okay, good. Blessing, us buying VGC.com from Dick Wolf is going to be huge news, but I need smaller news right now. Where should I go?
You can go to our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 5, the Wii News. Right off the rip from VGC.news. Relic Entertainment has detailed its new business strategy following last year's split from former owner Sega. It intends to deepen its commitment to existing titles, including Company of Heroes 3, with new DLC and updates. In addition to continuing to develop the larger, complex strategy titles the studio is known for, the company will also actively pursue the development and publishing of smaller scope in-house games. And then Resident Evil 5 has been rated for the Xbox X/Series S by the ESRB. And that's it for your Wii News. Thank you. And then remember, patreon.com/video games chronicle. I'm getting that link. I want to toss that in there too. Hold on. I put it underneath Wii News if you can throw that up. Everybody remember, you support us on Patreon. That's fantastic. We couldn't do it without you. VGC couldn't do it without you either. If you want to head over to patreon.com/video games chronicle. They're killing the game and having fun. Let's talk about the support we've been getting through Super Chats. The Portland Kevin Super Chatted and said, recovering from surgery with Kinda Funny Games Daily as comfort food. Portland Kevin, I'm not sure what surgery you had, but I hope you're okay. I hope you're recovering well.
Hope you're recovering.
CJ Splits on Super Chat says, speaking of things clicking, I finally had that moment with Monster Hunter Wilds this weekend with the beta. Counting down the days for the next beta. Bless should try it again.
The Monster Hunter Wilds beta?
I mean, Monster Hunter in general. You did it. You bounced off. You haven't sounded that excited about it.
I'll try it again.
Okay, thank you very much. There you go, CJ. You did it.
I'll give it one more shot.
Love that. Red Hudson 8 super chats and says, birthday tax from yesterday. Super thankful for Kind of Funny and all the Kind of Funny best friends. Love you all. Snowbike Mike is the GOAT. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I like how Snowbike Mike finally responded to my text, my Slack after watching that thing.
I mean,
no one sent me the porn thing they were all watching.
Well, what's
I
the
hate
Slack
being-
you
I
have
hate
with
work from
Stoic Mike? Is this something you could share, or is this private?
Oh, it was just like, I think I saw you streaming Keep Driving. Can I cancel that code request?
Oh,
A simple yes or no question. Mike is like, you watch the shows where they're out in space and they send a message back to Earth and it takes like 10 years. That's slacking Mike.
mm-hmm.
I slack Mike. I don't even get responses sometimes. And I got to text him about him. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
You got to catch him in person.
Yeah, that's the only
Catch him
way.
outside. Manny Bagel Boy Sanchez super chat and says, back from Mexico. Thank you guys for helping me get through all the news these past few weeks. Back to reality and time to do the work and do what we can. Thank you guys. Thank you, Manny. I hope your bagel shop is doing well. All right, they've sent me the thing. I have now seen whatever they're watching. You know,
You're gonna love it.
they're
really
sick as
good.
hell for having this man watching his girl cheat on him repeatedly.
It's one of those ones where I'm trying to think of, like, I don't think we can show this on the show. Like, technically, we probably could, but we probably shouldn't show this on the show.
Yeah, it's a social media breakout here. Oh goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, we should not show this on the show.
It's just really funny.
It's a 30 second. Oh my god. Oh my god. And he ripped his shirt open in anger.
I mean, I feel him. I'm right there with him.
He's smiling though. He knows it. He's hamming up for the camera.
Oh, but it gets worse.
Whoa! And then he kicked it. Now he runs.
Now, he turns into Tom Cruise during Mission Impossible the way he starts running.
Oh wow! Shit! Fuck! He's freaking out in the ocean. Not as funny. Oh, the them going back to film on the. Yeah, Jesus. All right. But he sent me 2 clips. There's another one too.
I don't think I saw the second clip, so I'm gonna need you to narrate this one if you watch it.
Okay. So, oh my god. So the second one is so you've seen him rip his shirt off and run to the ocean.
Yeah.
The second one here is him watching like basically the Kind of Funny control room screen with multiple screens on it, and it's them in a real bed now. It's his girlfriend apparently and this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. His shirt's back on, so I assume I'm seeing them out of order. No, the woman who is the host, I assume, is dressed differently. Oh man, this guy's back in his underwear are very small. I can see why. Okay, I can see why the people are gathering around for
different
him.
guy. What's the name of the show?
That information I don't have. I'm just seeing clips in Spanish. I'm not sure what I'm seeing exactly. Anyways, the final super is Nick still around? Can you see Nick anywhere?
No, Nick's not here.
Okay. Well, we wanted Matthew Lewis wants to know, can we get a follow up on Nick's progress with Insecure? I assume.
Wait, is
it's
Nick
not.
watching Insecure? Nick, are you watching Insecure?
Remember, we can't hear Nick.
Well, he said
So
he has
when he
watched Insecure. Are you? Wait, somebody wants
Come
your
to the
progress.
microphone.
What's that on my progress Insecure?
Yeah.
Matthew Lewis says, can we get a follow up on Nick's progress with Insecure?
Insecure. I think I only watched a few episodes of it, and then I fell off, honestly, because I think I discovered Detroiters after that. It's the better show.
Matthew Lewis, the progress is not good. The update has not been good.
I will say I started watching Insecure last summer. I have only gotten to the end of season 2, but let me tell you, that show's fucking awesome. I love it. I love Insecure.
It's really good.
Issa Rae, she's on another level.
Oh yeah, it's very, very good. Highly recommend. I don't know why I didn't finish that. I should go back and watch it. Thank you for the reminder.
If you go back and watch it, I mean, you can do a one-on-one screencast about it.
I need you to get caught up on Suits, like right now.
I don't think I've watched one episode of Suits.
Good. You're,
Lot to
you're a
catch up,
Suits
huh?
virgin.
I'll pop my Suits cherry.
Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily in the bank to start your work week, which means we're just starting to cook over here at Kind of Funny Games Daily on a bunch of live talk shows for your entertainment pleasure. Of course, right after this, you're going to get the GAMESCAST. It's the Kind of Funny Screencast going through the biggest Super Bowl trailers / big game trailers. I forget how you don't get sued. And then after that, it's going to be Mike and Nick in the afternoon. And then after that, it's the Kind of Funny podcast for Kind of Funny members. So pick up your membership on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Patreon.com/kind of funny, Apple and Spotify, so you could watch live or get it later or get it ad free or get Gregway that I'm about to record as well. There's a bunch of cool stuff happening, and we couldn't do it without your support. For now, we will end this show and remind you to like, subscribe, share, follow us, and all that jazz. And know that until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.